Your dog isn't just waiting for you. The part most owners miss happens after the door clicks shut. Because in that moment, your dog is not simply being dramatic. Something deeper begins. And there's one tiny behavior, so quiet most people never notice it, that reveals just how strong your bond really is. By the end of this, you'll realize your dog has been sending you the same message for years, and you may never hear your keys the same way again. Most owners miss this for their dog's entire life. They see the bark, the stare, the paw at the door, but they miss the part that matters most. And the hardest truth? The saddest feeling may not happen when you leave. It may happen a few minutes later. If you could watch your dog from the inside out, not just with a camera, but through their body, their stress, their bond with you, what you'd see is almost never what people imagine. Not a cartoon meltdown, not some dramatic monologue, something quieter, something more intimate. Some dogs pace, some freeze, some go still and listen, and some do one heartbreaking thing with your scent that changes the entire meaning of missing you. But before we get there, you need to understand why the first few minutes after you leave are so easy to misread. Here's the first layer of the truth. When you walk out, your dog doesn't instantly fall into one simple emotion. Your absence lands like a shift in the whole room. The air changes, the routine changes, the center changes, and your dog notices that immediately. That stare at the door, it's not always panic. Sometimes it's orientation, a kind of emotional, where did my person go? That first stillness can look small, but it means everything, because your dog is not just tracking movement, your dog is tracking you. But here's where it gets stranger. The dogs who love their owners most deeply do not always react the loudest. Sometimes the strongest bond looks almost invisible. A pause, a door glance, a slow exhale, a move toward the place where your smell remains. And that tiny reunion behavior I mentioned, we still haven't touched it, because first you need the deeper mechanism. Scientists have found something beautiful here. Your dog treats you like a secure base. That means when you're present, the world feels more workable, more explorable, less uncertain. Dogs investigate more, move more freely, engage more confidently. And when that secure base disappears, many dogs don't just get bored, they lose their emotional anchor. Not forever, not in a human storybook way, but in a real biological one. The room is suddenly less steady because you are not in it. That's why some dogs drift toward the door. Why some stay where they last saw you. Why some stop exploring almost entirely. Why some lie down near your shoes instead of their bed. To your dog, you are not just company. You are context. You are the thing that helps the world make sense. Once you understand that, the little things stop looking little. Now wait until you hear the part most owners completely misread. The clingy behavior, the following you room to room, the sitting by the bathroom door, the watching when you put on shoes. People call it neediness. Your dog may be calling it safety. And that hidden love signal? Here it comes. When a familiar person returns, dogs don't just act excited. Their bodies respond. First there is the sight of you, the movement toward you, then the release. And that release is everything. The real love signal is not just the tail wag, it's the urgent contact seeking, the body moving towards you as if your presence helps their whole system settle. Not performance. Relief, not just excitement. Regulation. Your dog isn't only saying, you're back. Your dog may be saying, I can breathe properly again. But don't relax yet, because the most emotional part of this story isn't the reunion, it's what happens in the gap between hope and acceptance. Those first moments after you leave, many dogs listen for the impossible. Your step returning, the key again, your voice, the sound they know better than any sound in the world. And when that doesn't happen, some dogs begin a second phase. This is the part hidden cameras catch, but most owners still don't understand. Your dog may go where your scent is strongest, your side of the bed, your shoes, the chair where you always sit, the blanket that smells like your skin. And if you've ever seen your dog curl up there and thought, that's adorable, the deeper truth is almost hard to hear. Your dog may be using your scent like a remaining piece of you. Not because dogs imagine poetry, but because attachment has texture, and smell is one of the deepest ways your dog keeps you close. For many dogs, the hardest moment is not the door closing. It's realizing your body is gone and your scent is all that's left. Now this next part is the one most owners get wrong. If your dog lies down after a few minutes, that does not always mean they're fine. Calm and shutdown can look similar from across a room. Silence is not always peace. Some dogs settle because they've regulated. Some settle because there is nothing else they can do. The difference is hidden in tiny details. The ears, the breathing, the scanning, the door checks, the tension in the jaw, the sudden lift of the head at every hallway sound. That's why love in dogs is so often missed. It is frequently quiet. And there's another layer almost nobody talks about. Your dog may not only react to your absence, your dog may react to the emotional state you leave behind. If you leave rushed, guilty, loud, apologizing, frantic, your dog may feel the storm before the separation even begins, which means the goodbye itself can become part of what your dog is trying to survive. Your dog is reading your shoulders, your breathing, your pace, your voice, your hands, the strange softness people use when they feel bad about leaving. So before the door even closes, your dog may already know something difficult is coming. And this leads to the untold reveal. What your dog feels when you leave is often not abandonment in the human sense. It's something both gentler and more piercing, a disruption of safety, a break in the emotional map, a sudden question mark where their person was supposed to be. That is why even a well-adjusted dog may watch the door, why even a confident dog may sigh and relocate to your scent, why even a dog who doesn't cry can greet you like the room just turned back on. But for some dogs, this deep bond crosses into true distress. The pacing escalates, the vocalizing doesn't stop, the body never settles. These dogs are not bad when alone, they are overwhelmed. And that matters, because once you understand the emotion correctly, you stop punishing the symptom and start protecting the nervous system. Your dog is not trying to control you. Your dog is trying to find solid ground. So what is your dog actually feeling? In the simplest, honest words. First, the shock of change. Then the search for your signal. Then, depending on the dog, either regulation or rising, and underneath all of it, one truth. You matter more than the room, more than the toys, more than the routine itself. You are the emotional reference point. That's why your return can feel so overwhelming. Not because your dog thinks you came back from war, but because their system has been waiting for the world to make sense again. And when you kneel down, touch them calmly, speak softly, and let that first reunion breathe, you may be doing far more than saying hello. You may be helping their body come back to baseline. You may be telling their nervous system, the center is back, and now we can close the final loop. The last thing many dogs do after the hope of immediate return fades is not dramatic at all. They go to your trace, your scent, your place, your side. That is the hidden heartbreak. Your dog does not always cry the loudest. Sometimes your dog remembers you with their nose and waits inside what you left behind. So if you've ever wondered whether your dog really feels your absence, the answer is yes, but probably not in the exaggerated way people imagine. It's quieter, more physical, more loyal. Your dog feels the loss of their anchor, then reaches for whatever still smells like home. And when you come back, what you're seeing in those eyes is not just excitement, it's recognition, relief, a bond restoring itself in real time. So the next time your dog watches you at the door, don't just see dependence, see trust. See attachment, see a heart that built part of its safety around you. Because your dog is not asking for a perfect goodbye, only a loving one. And maybe that's the real message they've been trying to tell you all along. When you leave, they don't stop loving you for a second. They just wait for the world to feel whole again.